Why is obese becoming the norm? I'm a human nutrition major and therefore health is one of top priority in my life. I noticed that obesity rates have been soaring over the past couple years and wondered what could be contributing to such an increase. So I started doing some research and found.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie Jones, and for my final project, I want to talk about the obesity rate in America. Men and women's BMI has increased over the past 28 years from 25 to 28. An overweight person is said to have a BMI of 27 to 30, while an obese person is said to have a BMI of 30 or above. As you can see from these charts, men's has increased consistently over the past 28 years, and the same can be said about women over the past 28 years. For my project, I want to talk about why people are continuously becoming more overweight and why that is becoming the norm, because it's not healthy for humans overall, and I want to show which states are becoming more obese and why.
The obesity growth rate is worldwide. Obesity is a worldwide issue that is increasingly becoming more significant in today's society. Obesity is one of the leading causes of multiple diseases like diabetes, osteoarthritis, heart disease, strokes, cancers, sleep anemia, and much more. The United States is one of the leading nations in this battle, and there are no signs of the rate decreasing anytime soon. So the question then arises, why is there such an increase in the rate of obesity over the past decade? The data has been collected and the following 3 videos gives at least one idea as to why many Americans are becoming increasingly obese. The first video answers the question, how large are the people on average in each state? Do they have a 30 or above BMI to categorize them as obese? The second video shows how many McDonald's per capita there are in each state. Is there a correlation between the fast food industry and the BMI of Americans? That is precisely what the third video points out. Of the top 18 states, with either the highest BMI average or the largest number of McDonald's per capita, is there a correlation between the two sets of data?
For the following 3 datasets, these charts were used to collect the data, one of them being about the obesity percentage and the McDonald's per capita of each state, and also a chart about the population of each state or territory in the United States and the percent population of that total. And then both of these were loaded into Google Refine and merged together to make one graph or one chart. Then after that, I moved it to Google Fusion Tables so that I could also look at the map of it. But once I started working with the data, I decided that this was too much information. I didn't need that much. So once I got into Google Fusion Tables, I cut out 2 of the columns, the census population, the percent total population, to make this. And I also cut it down into the 18 most important states that I wanted to talk about. And then I also used this so that I could map my information as well. And then this information was put into graphs and charts to make it more understandable in a visual. This chart shows the 3-year obesity average for each state, and this list shows all of the states, and the ones that are highlighted are ones that have the highest obesity rate in America over the last 3 years. This chart shows the McDonald's per capita per state, and most of them range from 6 to 3 McDonald's per capita. Every state is shown on this chart, and the ones highlighted show the ones that have the most McDonald's per capita. This graph shows the correlation between obesity and McDonald's per capita for the top 18 states that either had the highest obesity rate or the highest McDonald's per capita, and you can see that most of them show a correlation except for Hawaii and Nevada that definitely do not have a correlation. Hi, my name is Mackenzie Jones, and for my video tour, I used data that I had made previously in this class that was about the average obesity rate in all 50 states of America over the past 30 years compared to the McDonald's per capita of all 50 states. For my image for this tour, I made a McDonald's, which represents a part of my data, and I placed it in Honolulu, Hawaii, because Hawaii is the leading McDonald's per capita state in the nation. And you can see that when we zoom out. And the data is placed over Hawaii, and they have the highest McDonald's per capita of over 5, and they have an average BMI of 23, which is actually quite low. That's not an overweight society there. Then we move on to Nevada, which is the second outlier in my data set that has a McDonald's per capita of once again over 5, and they only have a BMI of 25.
For the rest of this tour, I basically went through each state and showed the average BMI of each and the McDonald's per capita of each, which I've already shown in other videos, but this one is very time consuming and I can't fit it all into a YouTube video, so I'm jumping through some of it.
With many McDonald's per capita. And then we move on to Alabama, which is the second fattest state in America with an average BMI of 32.3 and McDonald's per capita of 4.56. And then we move on to the fattest state in America that has an average BMI of 34.4, which is Mississippi. And they are by far the fattest state in America. And as we zoom out, we can see that the majority of the top 17 fattest states in America are in the southern eastern part of America. So by putting the data into this format, it's easy to see that there is a correlation between the location in America of the fattest states, therefore indicating that there could be even more reasons that people in these areas are obese other than just the McDonald's per capita.
My research. After compiling the background information needed to understand the obesity situation in America, I began to do a little bit of research of my own. Using EpiCollect on my iPhone 4, I took a survey of random students at UK and employees across Lexington, and this is what I found. Keep in mind that all of these people have lived in Lexington for 2 years or more. So for my research, I did a survey in EpiCollect on my iPhone about where a person is from, how old they are, how many fast food restaurants they grew up with within like a certain couple miles of their home growing up, and how tall they are, what their weight is, and if they're male or female. And out of the people I surveyed, these were some of the areas: Illinois, Columbus, Kentucky, Georgia, Connecticut, and Massachusetts were some of the people that I interviewed. But all of these people have lived in Kentucky for more than 2 years, so therefore their hometown may not completely impact whether they are overweight or not. So after I collected this data, I uploaded it into Google Refine. And once I did that, I used Google Refine to do a URL lookup based on the longitude and latitude of the people's homes that I took the data from in comparison to Louisville, Kentucky. And the reason I chose Louisville is because it's the most fast food dense city in Kentucky, so therefore it would make the most sense to know how far away they live
from that um, fast food dense area. Then once I did the URL lookup, I came into fusion tables, and here's the distances. All of them are about 77, 78 miles from there. So they are within an hour's drive from there. So once I did that, once I got all of that data collected, I went to put all my information into Excel, and I made some charts that show the weight of the women that I interviewed and the height of the women that I interviewed. Now, the reason I chose women is because the majority of the people that I interviewed were women. So, and there were only a few men. So the weights, fluctuated a little bit, but the average weight of a woman between the age of 20 and 30, which was the age range that I had picked from, is about 130, which would be about right here. So as you can see, the majority of these women are, quite a bit overweight. In comparison, just to kind of show a comparison, the average height of a woman between 20 and 30 is about 5'3" or 5'4". And as you can see, most of the women are right in the middle of that range. So height-wise, the women are right on track, but weight-wise, they're a little bit, if not more than a little bit overweight. So from this information, it shows that it goes along with the information that I had found before, is that people in Kentucky are overweight, and it could be more than just how many McDonald's or fast food restaurants are around, but it's a major problem, and it's
In conclusion, once overweight, it's hard to find your way out of the excess body fat, but with some help, losing weight could save numerous lives every day. It is apparent that McDonald's or fast food restaurants in general could have a major role in the incline of overweight Americans. I would not go so far to say that fast food is the only reason, though. Exercise is also a major factor in keeping the human body healthy, and many Americans do not find the time to work out 30 minutes to an hour a day. Obesity also has to do with the portion sizes that people choose to eat and the balanced, healthy meals that they consume or don't consume. The amount of research and information that could go along with the study of obesity is endless, but nevertheless, people need to take care of their bodies and realize what they are putting into them in order to have the maximum output their bodies can provide. Otherwise, Americans and people around the world will slowly push their bodies into a fast food coma of disease that they will surely not recover from.